You can do a lot in post-production with a bad shot, but if your audio's off, there's very little that you can do to save it. If you want to spend money, come up with just a basic idea for something.
You went over
The
into the Disney airspace, and for this county, whatever regulations, whatever, this is an actual criminal felony.
Wow.
Like this is
Felony?
So today, I'm joined by Eric McGregor, who is a videographer, music enthusiast, magician. Tell everybody that doesn't know who you are, tell them a little bit about what you do, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so started Wild Hair Production about 10 years ago. Started off 20 some years ago in the music industry and did a lot of product videos for the company and learned through that process just kind of how, and this was like 2005, 2007. Video was around, but it was nothing like
It wasn't, right.
Yeah, it's not like as, just ubiquitous as it is nowadays, but the efficacy was definitely there, and the ability to we had to train people in Best Buys across the country or guitar centers.
Yeah.
And I had myself and like 5 other people on the team. And so being able to replicate that and put yourself in all these different places, turns out video is very effective for that.
Yeah.
And then in the music world, if you get into recording audio, the videos editing software kind of feels similar to it, or it's the same type of brain stuff. So more and more though, as I got out of that and then was doing advertising, just kept, the demand for the product was getting there, and you'd see stuff, but it just wasn't ever really as good as it could be.
Yeah.
So there was opportunity. And so now that's been 10 years of doing that and helping people get the message out, but helping them tell the story in an attractive way. And some of the challenges, everybody wants to do stuff, not clients, but a lot of people that are in this industry, they want exciting things. That's awesome. Like a gun range.
Do you find like though that the people that want exciting things are sometimes not exciting?
Yes. There's so many correlations between like who's on camera, how they talk off camera, but then when they get a red light on them, just they leave the building, and just you're like, where'd you go? Come on, buddy, come on back. But I think one of the challenges, if you get good, and I'm saying like I feel like I've gotten better at the challenge of taking something that's a little more mundane and turning it interesting. Like, so one of the hardest things I could think of industry is like banking. Like,
Yeah, how do you make that
banking sexy? You also have a savings account that you offer? Huh? You a checking account too? They can't. It's so regulated. They can't really say a lot of stuff that differentiates from all the others around.
Yeah.
And then there's other. I've done stuff with gutters. There's all kind. Even in schools, worked with school districts that to try and find. I think a lot of times you're trying to find the humanity part of it, which isn't that far under the surface. If you get someone talking about what they do and kind of some real life stories, testimonials are great too. That's definitely one where it's like, hey, I've even run some stuff recently that was just really saying, hey, if you've got somebody that will talk or brag about you, let them do that, because that sounds a whole lot better
than you doing it.
Yeah, than you getting it.
Dude, that's my biggest challenge in running a business is how do you talk about yourself in a way that's just trying to create awareness and not sound egotistical?
It's so awkward. It's so
like,
awkward.
Hey, hire me. I'm awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you feel like, especially if you're you're editing and producing stuff and you're also getting on camera and doing it, there's going to be some point during this process that you're going to see yourself like on a monitor, or you're going to be looking at stuff just going, oh my God, like how far have I gone, and then you're also like, I could have probably sold that a little bit better, so it just, if you take that off of you and put it into, again, it could be any one of those products, especially the ones that are hard to kind of promote, or make sexy. Sometimes it's, have somebody tell their story, make it quick. So they might talk for 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Your goal is to get 30 seconds.
Right.
But
how do you make it
in that
sweet?
30 seconds, get a couple of the shots where it might be before they even start talking. This is going to bother some people, but the mic, they might be back here waiting to queue up, and they're like, oh, crap. You get that one shot of them kind of laughing before they come on and go, yeah, my name's blah, 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 blah. That instant human contact, you kind of go, oh, well, this guy's not just out here delivering lines. They're telling you, the truth, or they're giving you their real side of it.
Yeah.
So that goes a long ways, I find, for messaging, especially when it's something that's, a little more commodity, or just not, again, fireworks and neon lights everywhere.
I do that. Did that kind of what you're talking about a minute ago with the camera being on before it's on.
Yep.
I do that. It's my subtle little thing I do to get a good shot. I'm testing the lighting. It's a test shot.
Yeah.
Are sometimes the shots that
they're not even looking at the camera. They're not thinking about it.
No, that's the whole thing. They're not looking at it going, oh, they're not frozen. They're not in their.
The worst thing you could do is get all the lights, everything ready, put them in place, and then go, okay,
ready?
Turn that red light on. God,
they're just a statue.
And it is across the board. Very few people. You get some that are good, and they just they don't mind, or they don't care, or they maybe they talk to themselves in the mirror all the time. I don't know, but most of the time that light comes on, and what I tell a lot of clients too is the first thing I look for, the first probably 5, 8, 9, 10 minutes, you might get something in there. You might not. What I watch for a lot of times is when the hands start to move. Yeah, when they start to gesture, and and the eyes even leave camera, and they're kind of thinking, now they're moving, and they've gone into their natural flow. The brain and the mouth have all stopped thinking about what the other one's doing.
Yeah.
And now they're actually gone into how they talk in a conversation versus being scripted and posed and postured. It's hard to turn a camera on and have somebody not react like that at first, but give them a little time, and then you act like it's casual. They'll start to act like it's casual. And then, you ask a couple of funny, nice questions from behind the camera, get them talking. And then once they hit it, a lot of times know when to shut up and just let them go. Oh, they're on. Okay. Don't say anything. Let them get this. Oh, that's good. And they might go 4 or 5 minutes telling something and be like, hey, what was it? What'd you say about that one thing again? And then be like, oh yeah. If you heard something and you're like, oh God, if I could get them to just say that.
Talk about that.
A 4-second take, and just be like, and this was this and this, and bang. There's your tagline, or there's your outro part. But that I think comes from a lot of sitting and editing and going through timelines, and you're like, God, they almost had it right there. Oh, and then
do you notate on the fly when you're in that moment? Are you looking at anything going, okay, at minute 4.5, they said a cool thing? Do you?
I used to, but I find that when I set up timelines, when I'm editing, I don't drop it in on the 0. A lot of times, because I'll be like, okay, here is 15 minutes of them talking. So it shows up like this. And then I've got some B-roll and some other stuff. And then they did maybe some intro lines like, hey, Greenville, hey, Upstate business owners, happy 4th of July. So you're going to have all these different, so then I'm cutting things off and I'm moving it to the front and I'm moving some other stuff to the back. And eventually whatever, if I said it was at 3 minutes, that doesn't matter because that part might now be at the 8-minute mark in the timeline. So I find a lot of times you hear something and you're like, mentally, I'm like, I just know that's in there. And you kind of remember like, oh yeah, that's right. It was midway through, or they were talking about this and then they said that. You're going to watch most of the footage anyways, but once you find it, yeah, and then you're like, there it was. That was that thing I was looking for. Yeah. And you're hoping they were on mic.
Instead of off.
And they weren't over here, or they weren't, like, oh, what, so.
Yeah, or they were doing a thing.
Oh,
like doing
gosh.
This.
And like,
while they were saying,
I don't like lav mics.
Yep.
They drive me crazy just because... they can't help it. It's on, it's here. Yeah. They're doing this, or something happens, and it.
I was going to show you my YouTube that I made, but now I don't want to because I'm wearing a lav mic.
Dude, if it works, they're great. It's when they don't work that you're like, oh my God. And so my default is just it. I've had some scenarios where you had to, and I've got some, but man, I would prefer to. Bring a boom in, or stuff like this, just put it right on.
Because this doesn't bother me because like we can clearly see it, right? It's right here.
It's a reminder.
No hiding it. It's just here. It is what it is.
The headphones do that too. So when if someone's not used to staying mic control or pose, you put the headphones on,
keeps them kind of
and they hear when they want mic, and then they come back on the mic, and then they come back, and they're like, oh, that was. Okay, I need to focus up. I need to get right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a good reminder for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Do you think that's why a lot of, like, we're filming a podcast right now, and I see a lot. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, sorry. I need to tell you.
I like cameras.
Oh.
I was just talking to this guy. Yeah.
I just say,
sorry. Go ahead.
You can keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Do I think that's why sometimes people.
Filming a podcast, I had a buddy of mine who starts something, was asking me about editing softwares and equipment and all that stuff, microphones, headphones, all that. And I said, what do you need headphones for? Mm-hmm. Other than like what we did a minute ago, the levels. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's when I'm like, are you just doing it for the look because you see other people doing it? Because you don't actually need it. Mm-hmm. This is episode 9, I think.
Nice.
8.
I like it.
And I've not used a headset one single time.
Yeah.
So what do you think
I think it's look. I think a lot of people, if they haven't done editing, or if that's not their jam, you think that it's a super necessary component, and then
you have to have.
You're also just trained that, like, if you see a reel or a story or something, and people are wearing headphones, you're already.
Oh, I need headphones.
You're waiting for it to cut from this guy's angle to your angle because somebody else is it's a podcast, so you're about to get this round robin feed of people talking and saying stuff,
right?
And if it's just somebody sitting there, especially if there's most of the time they're going to have a mic, there's other clues, but I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes.
So I think if you've done the setup and you've got your levels right, are they necessary? Absolutely not. Yeah. It might be better for if you have camera operators, maybe somebody every once in a while is just checking
something.
Because you do get sometimes you get some softer spoken people, and despite how much you say, hey, can you speak? The last thing you want to do is really start to crank that gain so much that all you hear is signal to noise ratio. That's just that hiss, and then they're in there too. But it's so hot that you're scared to death that a remote control or something's going to hit the ground because it's going to sound like God just came into the room. So I think headphones. It's definitely just part of the look. For the most part.
Now, unless they're like the video I showed you earlier, which is the aviator headset.
Oh, now that's its own separate thing. And honestly, like I could see me walking around my house
just wearing
my life off, just being like, just call me. If I take the headphones.
Let's just have a conversation like this.
Copy, I'll be in the kitchen in a second. Hang on. It's true.
I want to do it just to do it. The first day that I got those, I won't even lie to you, I was on my way to my buddy's house to show them to him, and I was talking to myself
Oh,
I was talking to myself the entire way. It's a 30-minute drive. I just had it plugged in. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but it's amazing.
and you can't not do captain voice where it's like, well, folks, listen, we're still in the parking lot, but we're about to leave in 3 seconds as soon as this Corolla pulls out of the way. You know, it's a natural, it's a natural thing. But those, okay, that's got its own character that you're introducing. So at that point, that's the third head on camera that you're not accounting for. But that drives its own.
There's a element to it that's hard to describe, and until you do it, you can't really know what that's like. Because if you've worked in production, you've probably worn a headset to talk to somebody else on set.
Yeah,
but this is different.
Very useful.
It is different. Useful. This is like you're in the cockpit of a plane, but you're on the couch.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Just awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think we all clearly we've all got some Top Gun fantasy somewhere in our heads, or it's an Iron Eagle. That was actually
dude, that was a great movie.
Because that was the Cessna, and he actually had Tom Cruise had the helmet and this. Iron Eagle. At first, when he's racing that dude on the motorcycle through whatever desert it was, and he's flying the Cessna, come on, man, that was like clutch, like 7-8-year-old.
It's amazing,
dude.
And so the ones that I have, they're actually helicopter pilot headsets.
Dude, Airwolf
sounds cool. Oh, don't get me started.
Come on, best 6-8 time music theme out there. Oh God.
Oh man, I was a huge Airwolf fan.
Such a great show.
It would probably still kill.
Bring it back. Why not?
Why not? I challenge you right now. Go look at it. Google it. You're gonna love it.
Airwolf. Yeah, and like it wouldn't take much. Like you don't have to recreate too much. Like I think that's still like you've got a problem getting your groceries home. Hang on. I've got a guy.
I got a guy.
He can get you.
Dude, they could remake that and it would kill. Because you probably appreciate the movie, the new Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
For the camera usage.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, have you go hardcore into like how they made it?
I've watched multiple clips on that one. I've also watched a lot of the stuff on how they did F1.
Okay.
And kind of similar, just like
I heard it. So I haven't seen F1, so don't spoil it.
I'm not.
Okay.
And full disclosure, I haven't actually watched the whole Maverick movie, much to my wife's dismay. Love you, babe. I admit it. We'll watch it. But I've seen enough of all the reels and clips from that, and people talking about not only the camera work and stuff, but the actual Tom Cruise, I think, is doing a lot of stuff that most people were going to be like, yeah, I don't do that,
right?
But the stuff that they're getting, even the stuff that he's done on Mission Impossible, a lot of the camera work that they do from that, where you're doing a halo jump and you've got a camera operator that has to jump in front of you, and he's pulling focus, as they're falling from the sky, and he's like literally the guy had to stay within, I can't remember, but it was like a 6-inch windows to keep his face in focus as they're
there's
come on, man,
there's talent outside of what you realize there is.
Dude, there's so much going on in those shots, and it's a lot of times like one take, or it's a very long, complicated take.
I didn't realize the I was going to say filmography, the way that they use the cameras for Top Gun Maverick. They developed pretty much a whole new system to take those shots organically.
Yeah.
That's not CGI in a studio.
I think that's great.
The other thing that I think is amazing is that the pilots were really in the plane. The pilots were by themselves acting.
Yeah.
So they were reading their lines against themselves. They weren't on comms. They were doing one.
While you're operating.
While you're flying the plane.
Yeah.
And I just think, oh my gosh, people we get so accustomed to CGI and like, oh, well, they were probably real time. Like you were in a green screen over here while you were in a green screen over here. Like, no, they were in the air by themselves, flying the plane, real deal.
Yeah.
Reacting to their own life.
And it seems like, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like that translated to box office success for whatever reason. It's not all AI, CGI, which that's its own.
It was unreal. Yeah. I think that was the most beautiful part of that movie. It was like, there was minimal Minimal special effects in that movie.
Yeah. Very impressive. Very impressive. And with F1 too,
I've heard that. I heard it was like Maverick, but for cars.
Lots of rigs that they were building custom for putting it literally on the outside of an F1 car doing near 200 miles an hour. And you got 3 or 4 camera angles going 180. The camera's doing 180 and you're like trying to just keep that.
That's and there's something to be said for it being real. And I saw a clip of Miles Teller talking about Maverick, and he was like, yeah, you get used, I don't want to say you get accustomed to it, but you get used to, okay, I have to fly, I'm doing this for camera, this for audio, and like navigating the plane at the same time.
Yeah.
So you get kind of
That's true. There's additional things in the cockpit that you have to do for camera operation or other stuff. You're not just like, okay, I fly and I talk. Nope. We might also need you to,
And the thing he said that really, it was a couple weeks into when he was by himself in the plane, where it brought reality back. Because like you're going that fast at 40, there's a scene where they go through the canyon or whatever. Yeah. And he said, it becomes real when you clip a top of a tree.
Ooh.
In your plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
okay.
This is real.
Pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up.
And that was just that they had to be under radar or whatever, but still, like you're going that low, that fast, trying to act, operate a camera, and fly an aircraft.
Yeah. Nah, man.
That's wild.
Haven't got asked to do that. And I'm happy. I'm happy behind the cameras where I am and with the setups that I'm doing. I don't think I need any kind of a.
I'm fortunate that I remembered to hit the record audio button.
Look, we're crushing it. This is basically an F-35 with 7 buttons.
So what do you think of all the work that you have done, continue to do? What do you think is the biggest challenge when it comes to like working with a new client?
A lot of times understanding. So I like to work with medium size, some large size businesses, but I like the person that's the best way to say it is the person that's writing the check. I like them to be involved in the process. That way you do know kind of what are we doing? What's it for? And then when you've got ideas or you're putting, you're giving some feedback or some thoughts into it, it's not going to get lost in translation. I've had projects where you're working with someone who's kind of a conduit or a go through, and you've done everything that was laid out, and it felt like that was a really good rendition of this, and then it goes up the ladder to wherever, and then it comes back and they're like, they really think we should do it something, and I'm like, oh wait, but oh, okay.
Yeah.
So really the director, the person up here, it would have been nice if we just started at this point. That's one of the challenges, is just kind of knowing what really is the scope of what we're doing here, and how do you want it to look, and what is the message of that, and then from there, again, getting the right people on camera, or making sure that the ones that are there, that again, if you got to at least, one of my mottos that I've always said is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you could have somebody reading a really, really well written script and it's just trash. Versus somebody that may not have the exact script down, but the way that they deliver it.
Good speaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So trying to get people comfortable and being able to know too, when you've got something to work with, you can always throw B-roll in, and that's where, like, we haven't touched it, but like AI stuff now, I still, there's a lot that you can get from it from a B-roll perspective.
Are you using some like AI generated stuff?
Truthfully, in some some short clips every once in a while, when it's just we are doing more storytelling. So it's like, okay, I need a picture of a bronze bull in the middle of a New York City street to like talk about a bull market or something. Stuff like that. That's a B-roll. But I think if you have anything unique, whether it's the location or just the product that you have, or most importantly, you yourself, you don't want to AI the person if it's an orthodontist or if it is a financial planner or if it's I told you my buddy the horse chiropractor.
Yeah,
that was a wild one. But like you don't want to, there are uses for AI, but I don't think you of course there are commercials out there right now and ads that you'll see that you never see a real person, or if you do, maybe that person's real, but it's a AI generated spokesperson.
Right.
I think that's also why I like to work kind of with local, medium, small businesses, large, somewhat, but there's something more to it when you're building a campaign that's targeted to people around the area.
Yeah.
They're going to have more connection to your location or to you yourself or to someone that they might see that's doing a testimonial on there versus something that's nationwide. And who knows, they might be showing pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge or, the big arch in St. Louis. And if you're in Simpsonville or you're in Travelers Rest, that's not going to have the same kind of impact on you as it would be if you're actually using locally sourced shots to do the additional storytelling. But there's still I don't know that you'll ever get to a place that you're gonna replace
actual footage,
clients on camera or customer patient or whatever you want, patrons, patients, clients. You're always gonna want some real people on there, and that's where your job is to make it look good, make them sound good, and then get the story across as quick and efficiently as you can.
So what about this? What about, let's just say you mentioned dentist office before. So maybe you have a dentist office, but all 100% of their patients are not comfortable on camera, but they have amazing testimonials. At that point, would you bring in like, hey, just email us your testimonial and then we'll give it to Eric for Eric to animate or generate?
I would tell that doctor no.
Oh, really?
I would say there's no way. If you've got 100 people here, I can guarantee you if somebody at least is 50, 60% comfortable on camera, I can get them, like you were saying, kind of act casual. Don't lights, cameras, that sets people initially back. But the more comfortable you are with them and talking with them and getting them to kind of just relax some and asking some, like, even if they're really struggling, you're rolling, but from behind the camera, you're just asking some casual stuff, just like,
what'd you have for breakfast?
Yeah, whatever is coming up, or you've already probably been in conversation with them a little bit before camera rolls. So, all right, so it's softball. What's it like being a dance dad? How much tailgating do you do at a dance competition before you go in? Something like that.
Wait. Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah, dude. I am not a dance dad, but I have friends and others that I know that, they had a lot of all daughters, or, one of their daughters got into dance big, and then they join a dance company, and you go around and you do dance competitions. And so the team stays together, kind of like soccer.
Yeah.
Or other like AAU,
sport.
like a travel sport, and they stay together for years until they pretty much graduate high school.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff, it's the same folks, same families are showing up. I don't know what the tailgate scene is like, but I understand that there's at least supplies and maybe chairs and possibly some tents or canopies that are sometimes brought just for the event themselves. So, but yes, there are things that you can do to help people just relax enough. And here's one of the things I always tell people when we're filming, like, dude, you could come on here and you could take 10 minutes to tell your story. Most of the time, it's not going to take that long. It might be 5-6 minutes of them actually talking. Out of that, let's say it was 10 minutes. I'm literally looking. I want this to be 60 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe two versions, a 30-second and a 60-second version.
Yeah.
In that 10 minutes, you will have confidently or comfortably given kind of the noun, the verb, the idea of it. And again, if they're just talking, this is where you can use their own B-roll of them laughing or smiling, but in the background, their voice is still continuing with a voiceover where they're telling the story. So you can cut things to still keep showing them, and then, interesting office shots, or, it's something that's, again, trying to find unique things isn't always possible, but if you take a really cool angle of something that seems everyday, but you get the slider and you're going around said coffee mug, and it's this, when you've got a nice shallow depth of field or something that you're adding to it,
adding some motion to
motion,
stationary,
absolutely,
thing.
Keep the camera moving. Even if you're locked on a tripod, you can do a fake push in, or you can do the pull out, or then something slides across this way, and now it's the camera's doing a little slide left to right. But the brains, especially nowadays, are very quickly, they lose focus and attention if you don't keep something moving.
I think that's a thing that has changed over the past couple of years, is the keeping the audience engaged into the content itself.
Hit them real early and hit them hard and very early. Drop almost instantly. Let them know what this is. Like
in the first 6 seconds.
I bought Invisalign. I tried Invisalign for the first time after. Like, if you're 10 seconds in and you still haven't stated, or 5 seconds. Think about that. I mean, if you're scrolling.
Oh, you get a second and a half, maybe.
So you got to be quick. You got to nail something, or the opening shot has to be like, here's the product, and here's a person.
Which has to look interesting.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and that's like for the AI stuff, if you've got a product that this is your product that you're releasing, you could use a blimp and make a bomb out of it and see what you get. My recommendation would be more of, like, you might have a product that, okay, it's got a unique, it's a simple thing, but it latches onto the outside of a camper, and it's for 4 extremely tall flags. So when you go out to race car events, people can find your camper when they're trying to find you, or tailgating. This is actually something that an early client of mine had.
Okay.
But there might be a little unique, like, you have to be able to show, like, oh, and it goes in like this and latches, and then you set that. AI, try, basically that's like trying to tell AI written instructions on how to tie shoelaces. Let's see what that video comes back looking like. Or you might be better off taking your product and actually just crafting the shot a couple of times and getting that, that good angle of your unique product in action and showing how it works.
I've worked with you several times over the years. And one of the things that I appreciate, and I feel like it comes with doing it for a while. And I think that I work in the same way, where you take your time to set the light, you take your time to set the angle, you take your time to do it properly. So when you're actually in go time, it's time to take that first shot. There's minimal things that have to happen now, because you slowed down, you thought through, this light needs to be 45 to them this way, I need a little bounce right here. And you just strategically think through what needs to happen where and when, so that when you execute it, it just is good. Even
on a closed set, you've probably got 20 things between number of lights, the camera angle, the bounce, something in the background, how are you lighting that? There's a boom, there's all kinds of stuff around that needs to be perfect. And then you're setting it up, and a lot of times people will walk in and see what I've got set up and where they're going to be sitting, and it looks like, how are you going to shoot this and not see everything that's here? Well, you get that one angle and it's literally a tunnel, but from this angle with that light and this bounce and everything else happening, it looks awesome.
Yep.
Just try, and I think it helps a lot of times to kind of show whoever, like,
show it to
not only, so if it is the orthodontist or the dentist or the whoever, but also then if there is a person doing a testimonial, kind of explain it to them and be like, hey, look, here's the back of the camera. Here's what this looks like. So look, you can see how the lighting's hitting this and that. They get into that when they start to see like, oh, there's like some quality stuff here. This looks really good.
Wow. And there's some science to it.
Yes. Yeah. It is not just, not
just
bagging on, but
things.
yeah, it's not just local news. Like, give me one bright light and a stationary camera out front of the Bon Secure Wellness Arena or whatever. Is that what's the name now? Is that still the name now?
Taco Bell University.
Yeah. Gosh.
Stadium.
But like that's the worst thing you could probably do. And I'll say that I think there are some things that if it's not well done, you're probably worse off putting it out there. And if it's kind of, I don't want to say homemade, but like, and there are some things like, again, if you've got people on your staff that have camera, and nowadays it's almost impossible that somebody's not young enough that's working that doesn't know how to do some stuff.
Right.
And so if you're just showing, oh, we've got a new exterior patio that we added with some lights and here's some new menu items, or we've got this person coming in next week, you can do that on your daily basis with phones and somebody that's on staff. I think when it's coming to the bigger messages, and if you're going to put some campaigns together to really try and drive traffic through the website or through a sales funnel or get them to whatever landing pages that you want, at that point, then you want to have a more polished looking product.
Yeah.
Because it's a direct reflection of you, your business, your establishment. And if you look at it and you go, yeah, that looks like us, then cool. Or if you look at it and you go, I think we look a little more modern, or, we're more professional than this or that, then, that's when you're like, okay, it's probably worth it to have somebody that at least knows how to make us look good and get good audio, get good lights. There's so many things that
I didn't realize how huge, and this might sound like duh, Spencer, but I was thinking video is video focused, right? You have to focus on video.
Yeah.
But that's only like 30%. I didn't realize how much impact the audio.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking audio
can wreck it.
Can either make or break it.
Absolutely wreck it.
Yeah.
Background noise.
You could have a terrible camera. It could be out of focus even.
Yeah.
But if the audio,
you can do a lot in post-production with a bad shot, but if your audio's off, there's very little that you can do to save it.
Yeah.
And nothing is worse than being like, damn, we just did a whole day with like 6 different people. And, sometimes I've had it before where the mic cable was just, it had been used multiple times and it just had a little buzz in it that I'd never heard before. But suddenly I was like, what is, and like chasing, trying to find, and then eventually it was like, oh my God, it's the freaking cable. And it's just the second that sometimes it'll go away, but you're like, I don't want that thing coming back on. So
is that when you ditch it and get a new one, or do you try and work it, or?
No, I don't waste much time. I've got enough of them that I've got definitely a spare or 5. So they're almost AA batteries at that point where it's like, I don't care if I've got half a battery life, bring in 4 fresh ones and let's just make sure we're starting with new.
And that's the thing. Like if you know me at all, my passion is for still images. My passion is not for video. Yes, I have the capability to do video, but I do not call myself a videographer.
Yeah.
My passion is for photography. I like to create and craft a moment.
It's not as fun if you're not into it.
Well, and all I was going to say was this whole podcast thing, I have been having to learn.
Yeah.
What's the difference between an active HDMI cable and a passive one? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And like even the camera we're recording on right now, in order for it to be where it needs to be, I needed the length. And inherently, when you're talking about HDMI, I didn't know that after a certain point, the sound degradation did all that stuff. And like, what? There's a whole new thing I have to learn now?
Yeah.
Just about connecting
like
the
people
thing?
getting into like wireless actual
Transmitters?
transmissions and stuff. Oh my gosh, man. You know, I've not had to get to any of those purchases. But it's definitely, if you do it, sometimes you can get away with it without having to transmit live audio from what you're doing. That's great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's definitely, and God, if you want to spend money, come up with just a basic idea for something and then go to like B&H Photo. What's up, guys? Yeah. Love those guys, do a lot with them, but like go to any kind of online dealer and you will get, you'll get lost and then overwhelmed and just trying to figure out what
do I do here?
Yeah, like I just need I came here to get a camera and I don't know what I have no idea.
That was the thing. Like we mentioned off camera before we started that I now have, and I feel like a big boy because I now have 2 of the same camera
right?
recording.
Are they the same lenses too?
Same lenses.
Oh, great.
So I'm like,
absolutely love it.
This is a DSLR with this is a pocket gimbal with another thing on it, and the footage looked different. And then I had another thing that was connected.
So this leads to a point that I remember learning early on in the music stuff was you would see, because what happens every January, there's a new
thing
show.
Oh, a new show.
New trade show that comes out, and all the manufacturers release all these new versions of the same thing, essentially. It's just the upgraded version. And how many people that just bought the new one last year are like, oh, yo, I just got this year's version, and man, let me tell what. No.
What's the big difference?
It's editing softwares. Oh, I used to use Cubase, and then I jumped to Logic, and then I was in Pro Tools, and then like Serato, I really liked that, but now like Ableton, and I'm like, bro, if you had just stayed on one of those platforms and just got to be an expert on your thing, you'd be able to do probably everyone. Like Ableton kind of did some stuff differently than some of the other audio recording software. Yes. So, but there were a lot of times where it was like people just unnecessarily jumping to the next thing just to say they've got the next thing. And I guess sometimes a client wants to hear that, but they don't. How would they, most of the time they wouldn't even know, like, oh, is this camera 5 years old or is this one 5 months old?
Right.
The truth is you want the end product to look good. And if you have stuff that you know how to use and it works and you can get the quality out of it, there is no reason to go spending more money every year or even every 2 or 3 years just to say I got the upgrade.
I had the new thing. Look at me.
The truth is most of us are watching this on what? A screen that's this big. You're not watching this in an IMAX theater. God, I hope you're not. So like if you are, I look atrocious. But on all these streaming platforms, you don't want to stream an 8K video. No. Because no one will be able to watch it full without it dropping out. So you're really probably exporting almost everything in HD. Maybe 4K, maybe, but a lot of times HD.
So that raises me a question, right? Like, so I'm still navigating this whole podcast thing, and I'm like, all right, we're recording in 4K. But the people, like to your point, you can only watch in 1080, right?
Well, so you can take a 4K and you can crush it down. Right. You know, it might look a little sharper. Right. What you don't want to do is take a 720 and bring that up to 1080.
I had to do that.
Yeah, has all happened. I think early drone stuff a lot of times was like, very bitty.
Yep.
Very blocky.
The pixels were like that.
Yeah, huge. Huge stuff. And it'd be like sharp. What? I can't tell. And then back to this.
A remix version.
Here's another take on drone stuff. And this is now most people have it. A lot of times you'll get a pilot that might fly through things, but everyone's habit with drones at first, and you'd seen this, like they would get a drone and they were like, let's take this up to 20,000 feet and look down. This is going to be the most incredible shot of what appears to maybe be a farm or something. in, Hoboken. I have no idea. Versus keep the thing 18 feet off the ground and get an orbit around a bit, like actually use it to do a cool looking shot where you're low and moving amongst things. That was definitely a trend for a long time where it was like, oh, they just got their drone. They're very excited about it, and they want to show us what the clouds above Greenville look like.
Oh, dude.
To sell gutters.
Yeah. Right now, I use a drone. When I use it, I move about 8 feet.
No. Yeah.
Because I just want to show a little animation.
Get the parallax.
To the thing.
I want this person to be here and the thing behind them to shift a little bit.
Yeah.
And that looks great. I don't have to set up a dolly and rails and I can just swing this thing 18 times if I want in 3 minutes and get all these different shots and angles, do a push in on the front of whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff of sometimes just framing. That's its own science. Sometimes you'll see something that's like, ooh, I wish that was right over there. And maybe not so much of this, but those are again lessons learned. Things that it's fun to get a drone and fly it around and go look at stuff. I don't even know now. Can you even buy a drone and go up to 2,000 feet without somebody coming and shutting you down?
It depends on the airspace
where you are.
Yeah,
because a lot of us around downtown Greenville, you're probably in the middle of like the hospital.
Oh yeah, it's
airspace.
Geofence now. You can't even take off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like some of the older stuff. I've still got a drone that I think could. But I don't want to, like, I'm terrified to fly. Yeah, I don't want to find out, like.
So I have a funny story, and that'll help wrap us up here. So 2 things I wanted to say is the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, I am a victim of it. I have been a victim of it.
We all are.
But even like you pointed out my headphones from earlier today, you're like, these look brand new. And I'm thinking, I need to throw them away and get new ones because they have little tears and rips in the padding of it.
Nah.
But they work. They continue to work. They sound great. Like there's no reason for me to need to go spend another $100, $200 on a quality pair of headphones when I have some that work. It's just a little bit of rips in them.
Yeah.
Like get over it. It's not a big deal. Cameras are the same way.
Yeah.
And so like I was saying earlier about these cameras, there's 4 different models to these cameras. And this is the base entry one.
Negligible difference.
The only difference is if I move around, it's not going to active track me. But for an extra $2,000, you could have one that does that.
Yeah.
But is it worth it for this purpose? Probably.
How many goats on the mountain are you filming that you need them to stay on him? Most of the time, we've got people talking, and then sure, you might go outside and film some B-roll or in the office, but not, again, the exciting stuff, people that, there are products and clients and businesses out there that their stuff is awesome. Like it might be some kind of like fly fishing skiff that you're cruising around shallow waters in,
if
the Florida Keys.
Or sports or motorcycles, something like that.
Absolutely.
That might be worth it.
So something, if you're going to be doing that routinely, then yes, pay attention to it.
Right.
Don't go buy something just because you're like, in the off chance that
they go like this,
SpaceX is going to drop in my backyard and I'm going to need stable footage of it, I'd like to be ready. Don't fool yourself with that. Most of the time,
you could do it with
break your phone out. Other than that, you want to make sure that if it's on a tripod, you've got a good, sharp, crisp look. You can get a depth of field.
Yep.
All this stuff back here is blurry. We're sharp here.
Yeah.
That gives it those looks that people are used to. And that tells a lot of people when you're talking about scrolling, you'll see instantly like this is a phone. Or the second that you see something that's got that depth of field on it, there's just a little more interest to it. And they might hang for an extra second or two just because.
Just see what it is.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. So I have a story about you. You mentioned like, I don't want to fly my drone just to be shut down by somebody approaching me.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
I did?
No.
Oh.
We were talking about, you were talking about it, and I thought, I have a story about that actually, which is pretty funny. I was working with a client. We were in Los Angeles, okay? And we happened to be staying in a hotel that was across the street from a Disney property.
Oh,
that
dude.
Disney property was right in front of a beautiful like mountain scene, mountain ridge. There we go.
Yeah.
Top of a mountain. And there's a end here and a beginning here. So I had this natural kind of valley.
Yep.
And
I can see the shot.
My hotel room right now was at the perfect place. I'm sorry, the hotel faced perfectly for the sunrise
to take off the balcony.
No, I had to go outside. So I go outside, and I just wanted a sunrise shot.
Yeah,
mountain ridge. I just thought it'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it absolutely.
So I take off in front of the hotel. I get clear of the hotel, clear of the power lines and trees, and I start to head over towards the mountain range. And I'm like, oh, cool. I forget what it was called. Disney. It wasn't Springs, but whatever Disney shopping thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like focused on the mountains. I can see the sun starting to crest.
Yep.
It's yellow.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
You got lens eye.
I'm focused. I'm so focused right here. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be epic footage. And then my peripheral vision starts to kick back in.
Oh no.
And I see 2 black SUVs.
Holy smokes. Yeah,
to
dude.
the parking lot.
Dude.
Okay. This is not exaggeration. This is a true story.
Whoop, whoop.
These 6'2" linebacking boys get out of the car. Again, we're in LA.
Yeah.
They get out and just casually start walking towards me. And I'm like, oh, dude, what is happening at the hotel?
Somebody's about to get
jacked. So about this
they're
time,
coming towards me.
the golf cart security team for the hotel pulls up. And I'm like, wow.
Bro, you set off all the alarms. Wow.
I'm still oblivious to their coming to talk to me because I'm like, why would they be? I'm standing here in my pajamas, in my Hawaiian shirt, like in my sandals.
Not even trying to hide.
I'm just here. It's pink flamingos. I don't care. So I'm looking at the shot. It's beautiful, but they get close enough to me where I can't ignore them anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the big one, looking like The Rock. He just was like, could barely put his arms down.
I'll take that, son.
Comes up, he is about 6 feet away from me and then puts his hands in his pockets and casually just like looks at me and starts to smile. And I just immediately, I'm like, hello, like, hey man, what's up? And he just kind of nodded at me and was like, how's it going? And I was like, oh, you're here for me?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going pretty good.
It was.
How's your day?
Yeah.
And I learned a long time ago just to talk to a cop like a normal person.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm pretty good. What's up with you guys? Yeah. And they were like, the guy says, you flying a drone? And I said, yeah. About this time, 2 more sheriff's county deputies.
Holy smokes, dude.
Pull up.
Wow.
Now I have 4 cars and the golf cart security.
LA's really worried about drones flying around.
There's 12 officers.
Holy man.
And they all look like they've been in some jujitsu something or another.
Yeah.
Right. And so the big guy, he's talking to me and he's like, do you mind landing for me? And I was like, sure. So I press return to home and I'm just like, we're now just waiting for it to come back. And he's like, what drone do you have? And I said, whatever model it is. He was like, I have the same one. It's fun, right? And he's talking to me and I'm like, are you trying to get my guard down? Are there 4 people behind me?
The thing out of your hair, just shatter.
I'm like, where's this going? So he's talking to me. It's super casual, lighthearted even. And the drone comes back and then it hovers and sets down. And I'm like, what do I do here? What do you want me to do? And so I turn it off and I turn the remote off. And now I'm just standing there. And he's like, well, what were you taking pictures of? And I said, oh, well, the mountains right here, the sunrise. Like I'm a photographer. I just thought it was pretty. He goes, oh, okay, cool. How's the shot look? And I'm like, it's good.
God,
it's really good.
He's setting you all the way up.
Yeah.
It's like,
he goes, so
that you could say this is your favorite shot you've ever made before.
Yeah.
Huh?
So then he can tell me to delete it.
Yeah.
Or turn the memory card over.
I thought he's just going to stomp on.
Yeah, me too at this point. I'm like, dude, I'm going to jail.
So this is your favorite toy, is it?
Yeah. I'm going to LA County Jail. Here we go. And basically he says, so what happened was you went over into the Disney airspace and for this county, whatever regulations, whatever, this is an actual criminal felony.
Wow.
Like this is
felony?
Yeah. He says, as soon as you crossed over that geofence, it pinged our system, the county sheriff's office, LA police department, and another team.
And they were all there within...
They were, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So as soon as I cross over that airspace, they get pinged. The hotel gets alerted. They swarm. It triangulated my position to the remote.
Yeah.
And it is no joke. So he comes up to me. He explains all that to me. Like, there's software in place right now all across our country that can, as soon as you take off, somebody knows about it.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind. And it also terrified me a little bit.
So,
Anyway, he said, okay, do you mind if I just look at the footage you have? And I was like, sure. So I turned it back on. He reviewed it. It was like, you literally were just trying to take a picture of the sunrise. And I was like, yeah. He goes, all right, no big deal. And then he cleared it with the hotel security team. Was like, are you guys good? They were like, everybody left. And he talked to me just for another minute. Was like, next time, we're all good here. Everything's fine. But just check your local rules and regulations before you take off somewhere.
Like, I don't even know what the permits would cost for you to have done that.
It wouldn't have been worth it.
No. Like,
it wouldn't have been worth it.
Those shots, that's great. And by the way, I think I have old footage of at some point in time, you'd sent me some drone shots that you took.
Oh, of the city?
The city, but you also had some fireworks ones in, like
Kentucky, maybe?
Yeah, Louisville or something. Dude, those were cool.
They were cool.
I don't know that I've used that in anything, but every once in a while I've thought to my head of like, they've got some B-roll of like
cool fireworks.
Like literally almost getting blown up out of the sky, but like made it. And I was like,
my middle name is Dangerous.
Yeah, right, dude. Super dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I had a drone get hijacked because of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In
Louisville.
Oh, really?
It was the Phantom 4 Pro V2.
You're like wanted.
Yeah. So that was my first time experiencing what that's like. And I didn't know you could do that. It was like, oh, somebody can have a signal booster or whatever it is, a hijacker that can take over your aircraft.
Wow.
I saw it. I was actually returning home to change the battery. And I saw it go like this. And it became in eyesight.
Yeah.
To where I saw it. And I'm looking at the camera and it's going, and then I saw it go 90 degrees and bolt. And I was like, where are you going?
Airwolf out of there. That's all. The new Airwolf would just be drones, though.
Yeah.
And it's like a guy in his Barca lounger, the freaking like 6 remotes, and he's just like.
See, now you're giving somebody an idea for a way to go.
Again, you guys are welcome.
We'll take 10%.
Very good.
All right, so I have some rapid fire questions.
Oh, God. All right. Okay.
I'll put 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, here we go. What's your favorite camera you've ever worked with?
One of the original Nikons with a 50 mil pancake on the front.
Oh. Film a concert or a wedding, which would be more stressful?
The wedding.
What's more satisfying, nailing the perfect audio or nailing perfect lighting?
Lighting.
Favorite instrument to play or listen to?
Classical pianist.
Dream location to film anything?
I would love to go to like Patagonia or like Iceland.
What feels better, a client's tears of joy or your kid's random hug?
Definitely the kid's hug is, that's a big thing that you notice immediately as soon as it's left the house and gone to a dorm room. Clients, though, there is a joy, and that happens. Man, when
they get so overwhelmed.
Yeah, you get something good and the message comes out right and everybody looks good and the music drops right at the last second, and then maybe their final line is an extra 4 seconds after the music cuts off, and then boom, and they're coming back like, oh my God, you had so-and-so and this person and they were all crying. That feels good too.
Yeah.
But, come on, you can't beat your kid's hug.
I know.
That's in there. So both, but really kids hug.
So if somebody wants to find out more about you, where do they go? Where do they look?
You can go to the website. All right, website's wildhairproduction.com. You can email me, McGregor, McGregor, at wildhairproduction.com, or reach out. Phone number's 310-749-2531.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah. Hey, it's out there. It's everywhere. Like, that's literally the number that's on there to call me and get in touch with me.
All right, listen, if you start getting spam calls, I'm not responsible.
I get them all the time. The beautiful thing is, you know where that area code's from?
No. Where's that?
Compton.
Oh, really?
Literally. In the previous life of music, I got a phone that was handed to me when I was out in an office in LA, and they were like, here's your new phone. And then I had that for the longest time, and I'd filled out all these forms that just had that number on it. I was like, I'm just keeping the number. So I still have literally a Compton, California phone number.
Man.
So around here, if I get a spam call, it's from California. So it's very easy to discern, yeah, this isn't for me. It's a spam call. So if I get 864 calls, I'll answer it, or 843, 803. You know,
I'm an 843 guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember yours. So
No country.
yeah. Hey, anything around the region, we're good. But my phone's pretty good about saying potential spam.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Well, man, thanks for giving us some time today.
absolutely. A
Appreciate
pleasure
you
being
being
here.
here.
Thanks for having me on. A lot of fun. Good stuff. And look forward to maybe checking it, watching the replay.
Maybe we'll have you back after a fly fishing trip.
Ooh, dude. Yeah. Like, so the biggest hang up is that it's like, I want to fish too. And I'm like,
Right.
if you're,
I could film you.
oh, ooh, that could work.
We could create a fly fishing video of you.
We might have to talk about this a little
All right,
more,
well, we'll
so.
talk about it.
Interesting.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'll see you soon.
Cool. Later.